at war with mind. Swami Chinmayananda says the technique of japa lies in engaging the mind totally in a self repeated sound having a very subtle and a great philosophical significance. And after a time when the mind is fully engrossed with the idea, we cry a halt to it, thereby taking away from the mind its only occupation at that time. The hope of the scriptures, Shastras, is that by such a process the seeker would come to experience the silence of the heart. In spite of all the techniques, our mind still wanders. To gather the mind in meditation as an integrated whole is a painful and difficult strategy. The inner struggle is like a Mahabharata war, but the struggle is the price we pay for eternal liberation. All the impressions we have gathered because of our past actions come to play as actions through the mind, creating agitations, and we are shattered during our meditations. The good and the bad meet face to face, and there is tension as well as activity. We cannot mentally get away from these two feelings, and identifying with them, we suffer dissipations. There is a tug of war between the little voice of the within and the evil tendencies in us. All the scriptures point out that success belongs to the one who has taken the Lord as the charioteer. In all meditations, the threat is from the mind which runs out away from the point of concentration. The following methods may be employed to control the wandering mind. 1. Bring it back forcefully. 2. To avoid ourselves unconsciously going along with the mind, we have to become conscious of what we are doing and create an environment for it, like clean place, clothes, etc. To avoid any old memories taking away the mind, we can take the Lord's name. Creating a sincerity of purpose can be the secret of success in spiritual seeking. 4. Give the mind an aid such as photograph of the Lord of your heart. Reading about the glories or limit the point of concentration, example to the smile or whatever you love. Success depends upon the devotion or the love of Lord and bring it there. Persuade the mind to make it understand the rewards or profits of meditation and regular practice. 6. Kindle the curiosity of the mind and tell how others have benefited through the practice of meditation. 7. Tempt the mind greater freedom later if it meditates now. 8. Sometimes a punishment may be necessary, like fasting, cold bath, etc., but never overdo it. After punishment, it may be rewarded too. Show your displeasure if necessary. 9. Identify with the intellect and sympathetically criticize the mind till it becomes ashamed. That is, be the observer of the mind. Any one of the above methods can be helpful in taming the wandering mind. Swami Chinmayananda says, in all these, the most important factor is that we must have a deep sense of sincerity, a great conviction born of faith and understanding, and a hardy sense of seeking, at once adventurous and revolutionary. Without these great and noble qualities of head and heart, nothing can be expected out of spiritualism. Nobody can develop these qualities for you, nor can the teacher do it for you. These cannot be sourced out. You have to develop them yourself, in yourself, by yourself. Swami Chinmayananda says, strive hard, act diligently, meditate regularly, discriminate continuously, be good, do good, be kind. Be tolerant, merciful, and all loving. Eradicate weaknesses steadily. Grow in your own inner strength. Keep brahmacharya, good company, and good health. Even when threatened with death, renounce dishonesty, deception, lust, and passions, and then meditate. Meditate, 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 and meditate. This is the only path, the only true path to perfection. Quick, easy, simple.